I have some cooler breaking news, actually.
the
Detroit Lions
news.
news.
Yeah.
Drop that
I'll
thing.
check my All-Star jersey.
Former Stanford head coach David Shaw and the Lions have agreed to terms on a multi-year deal to hire him as passing game coordinator per sources. Shaw, 52, worked as offensive coordinator with John Morton. Mm-hmm. A big hire for Dan Campbell's remodeled staff.
Morton,
I absolutely love that.
That's a great move.
So think back to him and over at Stanford. Like he ran that Jim Harbaugh type of style. We have that type of football team built right now. You guys bitched and complained that Jahmyr Gibbs wasn't ran enough. With this offensive staff moving forward, guess what's going to be?
They're going to run the fucking ball.
A whole lot of running. And
They're
it's
gonna
not
run the
any
fucking
discredit
ball.
to Jared Goff. I don't think the MVP season going to be thing because Jahmyr Gibbs might be the MVP candidate on the Detroit Lions with this offensive staff.
You know who was number 2 in play action passing last year?
Who?
Bo Nix.
You know who's number 1?
Jared Goff.
Yes, sir.
They're going to get back to that. This
Yep.
is going to be Hank Fraley got a raise for a reason. They're bringing in these guys that like to do the play action for a reason. Lord save me, Dan Campbell. Please, Dan Campbell, help me. He went out there and he found that fucking dog. He's
Found
building
that
this
fucking
off.
dog.
This is a great hire. This is a great hire by Dan Campbell. You see what this offense is going to be now. It is going to be fuck the cute shit. Fuck the trick plays.
We're going to punch you in the fucking
We are
mouth.
going to use our best offensive line in football and best running back room in football and shove the ball down your throat. And then when you get sick of that, so you have to bring in the linebackers, we're hitting you over the top with Jameson Williams.
And then if you need a pass game specialist, John Morton is your guy. like the former wide receiver, been around some of the best. And even him, though, being around Jim Harbaugh, like him, the narrative of him not running the football in New York, shitty fucking team.
Shitty, yeah.
Like,
Bad
I'm
offensive
just-
line and Bilal
Yeah,
Powell.
I'm not buying that. A guy who's coached with Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, Pete Carroll isn't going to run the fucking ball out of your mind. He absolutely is. And this hire reaffirms that for me. God damn, that feels good. Because I was a little, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now I just know.
Loosey goosey, baby.
Loosey-goosey, baby.
Yeah, this is
But
a great
now I
hire.
just know. Like Smitty said, we're lining up, punching them out.
You have a staff full of guys that know what they want to do. John Morton obviously was already in this locker room with these guys before, knows what Jared Goff is like, knows what this offensive line is like, knows what these running, well, he wasn't with these running backs, but knows what good running games mean to, like, Bo Nix was second in play action with running backs behind him. This is a great hire. You have a great offensive room now. Dan Campbell, hats off to you. Tip of the cap. That great job of rebuilding that offensive staff. Top 5 offense loading.
Yeah. He's scoring points, just being consistent, efficiency, whatever you got to say. Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs probably going to be MVP. Am I crazy saying that?
No, he's going to be offensive player of the year next year.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Jahmyr Gibbs will be an MVP candidate.
MVP goes to quarterback, so offensive player of the year. Jahmyr Gibbs definitely be top 3 in the running, without a doubt, in my mind now. Duval.
This is, like I said,
That's a great hire.
great hire.
I mean, like that's a guy. So for him to come in as not a fucking OC, not an offensive coordinator, to come in as like, being chill about it, being a passing game coordinator,
Yeah.
I love that.
Bringing in David Shaw to this team is a huge hire for Dan Campbell. Like you said, this is another piece of that puzzle for the offense to rebuild after Ben Johnson left.
David.
You've got our guy, Hank Fraley. He got the upgrade. He's your offensive line. He's your run game guy. You bring in John Morton, who is great with the passing attack, and David Shaw as your passing game specialist. John Morton had Bo Nix be the number 2 play action quarterback in the NFL last year. They are going to pound the rock, and they are going to be nice and precise with their passing attempts. This is going to be a great offense next year, and it's going to be built behind that offensive line and the running game. Dan Campbell did a great job of bringing in guys who think alike, who he is comfortable with, who he is familiar with, who are familiar with this system and the system of the guys that they're working with. Because David Shaw has worked in these systems before. He's worked with those guys before. Obviously, John Morton was here in 2022 and helped establish what this system was going to be. He played a key role in that, per Dan Campbell. So bringing these guys together and having that threesome, that gruesome threesome of your offensive minds to help this team, oh man, That is a great hire by the Detroit Lions to bring in David Shaw. You guys probably remember him from being the head coach at Stanford. Just a great hire by the Lions staff.
Yeah, at Stanford, he was 96-54 over 12 seasons, 3 Pac-12 titles, and as we were saying earlier, he just likes to run the fucking ball. He's been part of the Philadelphia Eagles organization, the Oakland Raiders organization, the Baltimore Ravens organization. I just love him as a football mind.
Yes.
And I think you have multiple good football minds within that locker room, within that coaching staff, and you're going to cook. And as we've been saying time and time again, now you just get to run the football. And I think that's what you need to do. You get 2 great running backs. There's no excuse not to. Everyone who bitched about it, you got what you wanted.
Yeah, it's, before at Stanford, he was both a wide receivers coach and a running backs coach. He is a guy that likes to pound the rock. You bring in you give the promotion to Hank Fraley, a guy who wants to pound the rock, and then you bring in John Morton, who had Bilal Powell have a career season with a shitty offensive line in New York, a guy that is a play-action pass specialist, a deep shot specialist in those situations. This is a beautiful trinity of offensive minds to bring in, or just keep with Hank Fraley.
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan Watkins tweeted out the same thing that Jared Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs did in Chicago with the fake fumble. They got it from Stanford, it looks like, and the head coach or the coach that we just signed, David Shaw, retweeted it. So offensive mind, trick play. Maybe they got this from David Shaw at Stanford.
Which one?
The fake fall.
Oh.
The falling fake fumble.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think Ben Johnson got that from Jordan Love doing it last year.
Yeah.
He said that, but I mean, I'm looking at it right here, and it is eerily similar.